Okay, so I was just kind of putting my hair up because it's getting kind of hot. And I knew this video was coming. Hold on, my microphone's a little strange. Oh, wow. Okay. That might be better. Wow. So hopefully I didn't pull on the cord too much. It's fine. Yeah, I knew this video was coming. So some of you guys are losing stuff, or have been losing stuff for a while now. Again, this is going to be under repressed messages, but I don't know if this would have helped you when it came out, like when it wanted to come out. You might be more reflective now, or might have lost the right thing. Be ready to hear this. Let's just see. I want the cards to come out, but what I was going to say is that some of these things that you lost, there goes my throat. Ah, you wanted to keep. I've said it before on this channel. In spiritual awakenings, it happens that we lose stuff all the time. Some of that stuff we want to keep. Realistically, we want to keep most of it or all of it, but we really can't. When we heal first and then we lose it, we're okay without it. But when we lose it and then we have to heal, it looks a little different. Like if we have to heal from losing it, it looks a little bit different. I'm getting like a relationship. I can't tell if there's a third person, but I'm getting, God, it's weird. I think I even said on one of the videos that I recorded recently that we don't actually talk about like repairing relationships. We kind of talk more about like boundaries and like identifying that we're just not happy in them. And, you know, I mean, we do talk about, you know, like how to respond in them. But we don't really talk about how to preserve them, repair them. Not really. We more talk about where you are in your head, or where you are like like thought process wise and emotionally, you know, as far as how you're responding, because we don't expect, you know, by we, I just mean everybody in the world, hopefully, doesn't expect you to be perfect, right? And, you know, we are going to respond, you know, the best way I heard it, it's not exactly the context I meant, but, you know, there's gender roles, and there's like roles in relationships, and then there's how people really are. And so to a certain extent, I think there's a little bit of forgiveness for the way people really are in relationships, to a certain degree. I think that people are hard on other people, like when they want to break up, because it kind of denotes that they don't really want to work on it anymore. But I keep saying that there's a lot of reasons for not wanting to work on it anymore, and sometimes it might not have anything to do with the person. That's interesting. I just got this notion. I don't know if I've told a personal story in a while, but I had this job one time, and I had a lot going on during this job, like serious stuff that I didn't create. It was kind of stuff that was brought to me. It wasn't like necessarily a bad relationship that was interfering. It was more of a family thing. It was sort of interfering with my job, but I kept myself quiet. Like I didn't, you know, react to my job. Like they knew it was going on because they had to know in certain situations, like I needed time off. But they didn't really know. Like as far as, I didn't tell them everything, you know, it was, what they did know made it very clear as to what I was going through. Let's put it that way. And there goes my throat. Because I didn't really Well, because I was having a hard time in the situation itself, and in my life, and because, it was just a job to me, I didn't voice certain things. I just remember this was quite a long time ago. I just remember this, like over 20 years ago. I just remember not sticking up for myself. When there was a misconception or a thought that wasn't true, I didn't correct people. Partly again because the situation that I was going through was none of their business. I had told them what I needed to tell them. But on top of that, I just really didn't care to defend myself with my boss, And I've been in situations and relationships where I was like that too. Or I'm like, if you don't know me by now, you will never, never, never know me. And I'm not going to sit here and keep telling you who I am because you want to believe something different. I just won't speak. But what ended up happening in that particular situation was because I was a little irritated with them and because they had sort of punished me for being in the situation that I was. I remember they didn't give me a raise when they should have, and they kind of used that I had missed work for that, And they had this number of days that I'd missed in this certain number of days. But, I had been employed there for like 3.5 years. Like, it wasn't like I was a new employee. Like, you already know my work ethic and you see me going through this, right? But you took it as an opportunity to withhold money from me to punish me because I was going through something heartbreaking, by the way. And you did that and you were okay with it, right? So I got another job. And when I was on my way out, they called me into their office and they were like, the guy got his wallet out and he was like, well, what do I have to do to keep you? And I said, you can't, because you did this. You waited for an opportunity when I was down, and then you kicked me and you profited from it. So you can't. And I think this was a partner situation. So I think one partner knew, but the other one didn't. And the one that didn't said, interesting, out loud. Right? But the real reason why I couldn't stay was because I had never defended myself. There was so many situations that were misunderstood that I couldn't even go back and fix them, that I couldn't even remember them all, that I couldn't even say, in this situation when you thought this happened, it was really this. And to be honest with you, there was a little bit of foul shit going on. To be honest with you, this is not the first time. We've talked before about how empaths have been through stuff and this kind of thing, but that particular boss had a crush on one of my coworkers, even though he was married. And so that person got preferential treatment. So whenever anybody needed to be shit on, pardon me, that's a little harsh towards my boss, but it was me. So the other reason for not staying. It's weird that they wanted me to tell that story because I've healed from a lot of stuff, and I'm not mad at anyone at all, even people who've really done me wrong. I do still get triggered sometimes, I think, in my emotions. I think part of that is because right now, lately, by lately, I mean in the last, 8 months, I've been in a little bit of state of trauma. I have lost things too, things I wanted to keep. And so in those ways, sometimes my shadow will appear. It will be triggered. I'll say, oh, so I still feel a certain way about that. I get that. I'm not out of it yet. I'm actually still experiencing the physical effects of trauma. So needless to say, I understand it better. I could pick it out in a lineup. So for those of you who are traumatized about the things that you lost, I get it. Absolutely 100% get it. Lost one of my favorite things. And the burn about it is I discovered that I really didn't need it in the first place. I just wanted it. Just gonna let that sink in for a second. So in this particular situation, well, you know what? Let's get the other cards out. I do understand that some of you may have lost people I really don't know how to put him. He came up upside down. Yeah. Okay, I see why. You know, I while we're waiting for these cards to come out, let me say this. Sometimes we lose things that we need. Let's say need. What is something that we need? Let's say food, okay? Something we need to survive to a certain extent. Sometimes we lose things that we want, right? Maybe it makes our life more convenient. Maybe everyone has it, but we don't need it, but we assume we do, right? I need that, right? But we don't, right? And then there's those things that are irreplaceable. Pictures, you know, from places we'll never go again, you know, people, pictures of people we'll never see again, things we can't replace, right? My advice to you is to identify those things that you need, that you absolutely need, right? Right? Put your energy into that. Then identify the things that you don't need, but you want, right? Those things are being taken away. Let them go, at least for a little while, right? Unknown card. And then the irreplaceable things, the things that really like sting and that are unfair, that they're gone, and you know, those types of things, put your energy into healing from those, right? Now by irreplaceable, I just mean like, you know, someone's close to you, you lose them, they're irreplaceable. There's no one like them, or there's no them, right? But if you lost, I don't know, a mother, you could still have a mother figure. If you lost a girlfriend, you could get another girlfriend. So like, not necessarily irreplaceable. Like, I understand the term irreplaceable, but when we pick it apart, there are more than like 3 categories, right? And so I just want to share that with you so that when you're looking at some of the things that maybe you thought you needed, to be open to being shown that maybe you didn't, for whatever reason. You know, if it's a car, like maybe you do need a car, but you don't need a car because someone can drive you. Like just stuff like that, right? Let's put it this way. Let's say you lost 10 things in 1 minute, right? You'd have to focus on the things that are more important, right? You wouldn't want to just focus on everything. First of all, you got the trauma from losing all those things, so your brain can't even do that. But on top of that, why do we even want to use that power to try to focus on the things that we don't need? Why not focus on those things that were really important and work on those, right? Let's go back to the first row. We have the Lovers, and we have the what is that, Judgment? Yeah, see, I really feel like someone lost someone that they love, but I don't think this was like a, you know, a parent. I feel like this was like a relationship, like a love relationship. Like it's possible someone could have died, but I'm not really getting that. I am getting the Unknown card here, so there could be many different reasons why people left, and the timing could have been weird. But to a certain extent, it just looks like part of the wheel. It looks like you might have even agreed to experience this, or the person that's involved did, and you were along for the ride. Got that Queen of Cups underneath that Queen of Swords in reverse, which I noticed, but then I had this Emperor in reverse, right? And it's like, I feel like that's the person we lost, right? This upside down Queen of Swords, which if you watch tarot, you know this person isn't necessarily someone we want to keep, right? We'd rather keep this Queen of Cups. I'm not picking it up like 2 people on the table at the same time. It's like either or. Maybe this is the same person. I am sort of getting that. But I'm also getting that this person made us the Emperor in reverse. We might have loved them, but they may not have been good for us, right? And then you have this like Chariot with this star upside down and this Knight of Swords, right? Quick communication, rapid action, harsh words, reckless, intelligent, confidence. So I feel like something happened. It could have been a tower that caused this person to like race away from the situation, or for the other person to race away from the situation, right? But this is like somebody that we loved, right? Yeah, because we lost them. We lost what we thought was our wish. I can kind of see how this is going and why I'm talking to you this way. I don't even know that we're still trying to hang on to this person necessarily. I mean, if we are, we're doing it in a way where we did not lose them, which is not healthy. I have the Six of Swords, which is a communication card, tough conversation card, moving on or progress. And then I have that, whoops, on top of this Knight of Wands in reverse. Which is action, go-getter, funny, you know, daring, driven, adventurous, quick moving, upside down. Okay. So I am getting that the moving is slow. I think partly because even though we know we lost our wish, we are, I think, still figuring it out. That person wasn't good for us. I mean, we should have known by their character, by how they were treating us, by how we felt around them. Like there was indications. They made us the Emperor in reverse, right? Male or female. But we did not want to. We either ignored our intuition or we weren't told. And we wanted to continue working on it. We even thought about it. We made a conscious decision to try to keep this going. So we either did this right before the situation, like we lost what we lost. I was going to say the situation ended, but I don't know. I think the reason why I'm talking about it this way is because normally when I think about it like a situation ending, I think about a breakup. I think that through whoever's eyes is watching this, again, it's not about the breakup. It's who they lost. Yes, what they lost to, but that person was, I was going to say fucking special. They were special. Now, we might not have seen everything that was going on with them. We have the World upside down on top of this Page of Swords upright. I'm just trying to remember. Oh, the Page of Wands. We have the Page of Wands upright and the Page of Swords upright. And then we have the Knight of Wands in reverse, but the Knight of Swords upright. And then we have this King of Pentacles and this Emperor again with the World upright. Yeah, we don't see that this person, wow. I knew I had the World upside down. I just was looking for it over there. World upside down with the Unknown card and the Page of Swords, and then the World upright with the King of Pentacles and the Emperor. And we started out, well, sort of, over there with the Emperor in reverse. We do have this Devil card upright. I think, again, it's because we're figuring out how bad it was. There was either hidden information, there was like things, right? Somebody moved out, but they left a box of really incriminating stuff. Or, it might have been how they left. And it might have been how they left too. So they might have walked out, but not walked out alone, like walked out with someone that we didn't know they were in the picture. Or they may have like died. and so irreplaceable but not needed. And it seems like right now we're still sure about it. Like, we're not sure about not needed because we're still pining over this person. We right now feel like if we hold on to this person, it will get better. It will not. The person was removed for a reason. And however they were removed was part of a plan. Like I said, it was either part of their plan to experience and you were there, or it was part of your plan to experience with them when they experienced it for whatever reason. You may have even known that they weren't going to be there forever. I think that you need to be told that you didn't lose everything, right? You might have lost one thing and that was your everything, that was your world. Or you might have lost a few things. Person maybe packed a bag, took something you wanted to keep in it, but you didn't lose everything, right? We really do in these situations need to be appreciative of the things that they have so that we don't lose those things and everything. I hate to say it that way, but it's 100% true. And I will tell you that I experienced it when I experienced my thing. My thing wasn't just one thing, by the way. I'm just going to throw that out there. Sorry, it's not funny. We haven't talked about it yet on this channel. We probably will at some point go through the points of it. But honestly, there's not really a whole lot to talk about. I'm just going to say, sorry, card down, that I lost some shit. Some shit I wanted to keep. So, let's pull the Alice card. I said card. I meant cards. Let's see how many cards come out. One. Okay. Changed in the night. It flipped out upside down. So changed in the night, what it says is you have changed quickly. So this was my card, if you've been on this channel for a while, for like, it's kind of like you literally changed overnight. Like you woke up and then something that you decided something that completely changed you. But then sometimes this card was that the person, like, you changed slowly, but then no one noticed, so that when you did move quickly, it was like for them you changed overnight, but you didn't. You changed slowly and solidly, and then, you know, hit somebody with a boom, right? And to a certain extent, I feel like this is the other person, or it's your situation. So in other words, you woke up and that person was never going to be there again. Or they left, like I said, left this box of incriminating evidence, and you were like, oh my God, this is how they were, you know? So overnight, you learned something that changed everything for you. And sometimes that's easier and sometimes it's harder depending on the thing you lost and how it's going down, you know? This is what came into my head, so I'm just going to say it. It's kind of like the difference between waking up and somebody dying in their sleep and then watching somebody deteriorate over 5 years. You get what I'm saying? I'm not 100% picking this up as death, but I'm picking it up as like a final loss. So it's like if I walked out on you, I like moved to Brazil or something. You can't even call me, right? I mean, you could call Brazil, but I'm not going to pick up. You can't come by. There's no communication. It's done, right? Even if I didn't say goodbye. This is kind of like what we're talking about, you know, the fallout from that and what we need to do to heal. And so like I said, decide what was important. Cut out the other crap. If this person was betraying you, let's say you found a box, right? I'm not even going to say what's in the box. It doesn't matter, really. You know, it could be pictures of someone, or it could be, you know, anything. It could be anything that would be considered betrayal. Like, why this person wouldn't take this box, I don't know. But people do stuff like that. There's people out there that will take your box and they'll like steal the money, and then they'll leave the box so you can find it. Right? Like, you could have been looking for this box for a long time, never thinking that somebody stole something from you, but they left it so that when you found the box, you would find it empty so that you would know that they took your stuff. Like, this is kind of like, you know, and then it's, you may not even care about the money. You may be like, this person took off. Right? And I'm not saying that that's wrong. You know, on this channel we deal with feelings, and if those are your feelings, and they're valid, they're 100% valid, especially if we just weren't ready to lose someone, and especially if we weren't ready to lose somebody like that, we might not process it right away. And by somebody like that, I mean somebody in that way, not somebody with that personality or whatever. You know, again, clearly it might be that we misjudged this person. We may have even misjudged ourselves because we picked somebody that we thought we could tolerate, and then they did something that we couldn't. So that we couldn't tolerate. So now we're almost like, it's like we're in buyer's remorse, right? Wow, I thought this was going to make me happy, but now I see that it just made everything worse. Maybe I should return it, right? But it's already gone now, right? I say let it go. Let it go, especially if it is a person and they willingly left you. Then I submit to you that they can be replaced. You just gotta appreciate the other things that you have so that you can bring in more stuff to appreciate. Sometimes spots get you know, parking spots get left open so another car can pull in, right? That's for somebody. Keep that in mind. Till we meet again.